Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Chelsea, and for the first time in a very long time, welcome to a sit down video. So we are coming back with none other than a book haul, a full haul if you will. I am surrounded by books. There's roughly about 40-ish here, so this isn't my biggest haul. This is my first sit down video back since Vida, pretty much. I seem to have taken almost 2 months off. I don't know what happened. That wasn't the plan. That's never the plan. But anyways, we are here. I'm surrounded by books that I have bought, that I have been gifted, and that I have been sent by authors, indie authors, publishers. Every time it surprises me, so if you have sent me anything in this book haul, thank you ever so much from the bottom of my heart. I have got it split out into books I've bought, the 3 different book boxes that I get in no particular order because I can't remember which month is which, so Fairy Loot, Illumicrate and The Locked Library. Then I've got indie books that I have been sent, books from publishers, and then books I've just been gifted for my birthday because my birthday was in September. So I have been given a few things. So let's start with the books that I have actually bought myself because those are the biggest stacks as always. And we're going to start off with this gorgeous special edition set of The Bone Shard Daughter by none other than Andrea Stewart. So this is the full trilogy. I bought this from Illumicrate. Obviously it has all 3 books. So The Bone Shard Daughter, The Bone Shard Emperor, and The Bone Shard War. So this is a series that I've been meaning to get to for the longest time. There was a readathon or buddy read that happened within one of the Discord groups that I am a part of that I really wanted to join in with, and I didn't get these editions in time to actually take part, which is a bit of a shame. I don't know an awful lot about this trilogy, I have to say. I do know it's got some raving reviews, and I couldn't pass up these special editions. Like, I try very hard now not to do this, not to buy special editions, especially from the likes of Illumicrate and Fairy Loot, that I haven't actually read. I've done it a couple of times. I did it with Jade City, I did it with the City of Brass, and I've done it with this. So far, and Poppy War as well, but I had actually read the first book of Poppy War, I think, when I bought it. So I have been quite lucky with reading them afterwards as I've gone, because I've actually enjoyed the books as I've read them, to the point where I'm glad I spent the money I did. And it does mean that I save money when you go to read them and you try to purchase them off the resale market, because these will go for stupid money. So yeah, as always in this haul, I'm really not going to tell you much about what these books are about unless I've already read them since I've bought them, because otherwise we will be here forever, and I don't really want to be here forever, and I don't think you want to be here forever. So this is the first series. I am very excited to get to this, and I think a lot of the books in this haul are probably going to be from Orbit, because they seem to be the people that I buy from. They're one of my most bought from publishing houses, I think. Next up, another Orbit actually, is The Hexologists by Josiah Bancroft, who wrote the Senlin Ascends series. So I started reading that series and I really enjoyed it. I haven't finished the first book, of course not, why would I? I saw that Bancroft was coming out with a new book and I liked the sound of it. This is a new book in a fantasy series about magical mysteries abound and where only one team can solve them, the Hexologists. So the description of this really drew me in, so I thought, why not? And yeah, I'm very excited to dive into that. Again, that will be a phrase that I probably will use an awful lot, I have to be honest, but we're just gonna deal with it. Then we've got A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber, which is the 3rd and final book in the, I don't know what this whole series is going to be called, or what it is called, but the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. This is the 3rd and final book. They all have very pretty covers. All of my editions are signed, and they have these stunning hidden hardboard designs. This is, I think it's a YA, and I know we're following a character that appears in this is from the Caraval series, and I'm pretty sure it's Jax, who we have seen before in the Caraval trilogy. But otherwise it's like a whole new story, just in a very similar world, all set within the same world. Obviously, I'm not too sure. I haven't read the series. I did get the Fairy Loot special edition of the first book because I am a subscriber. I got it through the subscription. But when I didn't get the second one as a signed edition, and I managed to get the Waterstones one, I got rid of the first one from the Fairy Loot and just kept collecting the Waterstones editions, which just proves that sometimes I am capable of doing that. Only sometimes, but I digress. Then we have is this the final Brandon Sanderson? There's another one in here, and I'm gonna find it. 1 second. Let's find the other Brandon Sanderson and we'll talk about them both together. So these are the secret projects. So we've got the Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England, and then Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, both of which have got very different vibes of their covers, and then Tress, which is behind me, which I don't think you can see because it's slightly off camera. For the covers that they've chosen for this, like this fits the same as all of the paperbacks that you can get, I think, but these two are kind of off the wall a little bit. I am excited to see how I feel about these books. I have seen some reviews come in and they're mixed. I will say they are very mixed. I think this one, which is Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, is described more as like an anime-esque kind of book, like it's that kind of vibe. And then I've got no idea about the Frugal Wizard's Handbook, but I'm looking forward to giving them all a try. I haven't actually read an awful lot of Brandon Sanderson, if I'm completely honest. I own quite a few of his books now, but I just have not delved in, and I really should. I've read part of Steelheart. Is that even a book? I'm not too sure. I've read the part of the first one in one of the trilogies, and then I started the Final Empire and I didn't get very far. So we have a ways to go with Brandon Sanderson, and I am looking forward to diving in. Same with Robin Hobb. They're two authors that I own quite a few of their books, but some of their books are really chunky, and sometimes I don't want to read chunky books, and currently I've been in that headspace, but I'm hoping that will change. Next two are by the same author. So first off, none other than The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab, with these stunning edges. This is the Waterstones special edition. I really like this, like, look at that. Look, it's so pretty. And the paper, this bit is like, it feels like thick paper rather than, I don't know, it feels expensive is what I mean. So this is the newest book in the almost like a Darker Shade of Magic series. Like, there's the first 3 books and they're a trilogy, and I think these are going to be another trilogy. I will say the only annoying thing, which I've seen other people say as well, is that these books are the wrong size. So this is the other book that I've recently bought from V.E. Schwab, which is Our Dark Duet, and this again is the special edition, which goes with this Savage Song. Haven't read them. Really enjoy V.E. Schwab's writing though, so she is an author by author, and when I saw that they were doing these special editions, I had to buy them because I don't own them. But look at the size difference. So pretty much all of my hardbacks from V.E. Schwab are this size. Actually, I think all of them are this size. And then they've come out with a new one in this size, which makes sense because it's already pretty chunky in this size, but it just throws the whole look off. Am I the only one that thinks that? I can't be the only one that thinks that, because I am surrounded by other bookworms, and other bookworms have the same thought processes as I do. Anyways, next up we have The Immortality Thief by Taran Hunt. So I've had my eye on this for ages. I did request a copy, and unfortunately I wasn't lucky enough to be sent an ARC of this book, so I'm so glad I actually managed to buy a finished copy, because when it first released last year it came out in hardback and I didn't want a hardback, so I got paperback. And this is sci-fi. Mine just went blank then. This is a sci-fi. Linguist and scoundrel Sean Wren is in trouble again, and this time his sentence is to salvage the data of the Philosopher's Stone experiments from an abandoned long-lost ship before it explodes in supernova. So it's like a mystery sci-fi almost, and I am really looking forward to giving this a go. If you watch any of my vlogs, you will have seen that this came up in my Spookopoly vlog rolls for the Spookopoly-thon. I haven't managed to get to it yet. That's all explained in vlogs, but it is top priority. So maybe, hopefully, we'll get to it in November and December. We'll see. Then we've got Ashes of the Sun by Django Rexler. I have seen some people truly rave about this, and do I know much about it? No, not at all. But I've seen Cassidy from Covers with Cassidy rave about this, and I really respect her opinion because she seems to like a lot of the same things I do, especially in the fantasy. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands in this video. It's almost like I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'm really sorry. But I really trust her opinion because she seems to have a lot of the same ideas and thoughts as me when it comes to fantasy. So if she's enjoyed this book, I feel like I'm going to enjoy this book. And I needed a book to get free shipping when I ordered my edition of Empire of the Damned. So this was the one I picked. Looking forward to giving that a try. The next one doesn't actually have a cover, so I'm just going to tell you what it is. This is Masters of Death by Livy Blake. This is about I do know because I've started reading this. This is following a vampire who can see ghosts because there is a ghost haunting the house that she's trying to sell because she's a realtor. In America, that is what they're called. In England, they're called estate agents. And we are also following another point of view, which I can't remember who it is. Oh, Fox, who has been adopted by Death. And Fox is a medium, or he's trying to pass as a medium. And I'm waiting for their worlds to collide and figure out why they collide, but yeah, so it's good so far. I'm enjoying it. Also, look at these like skull edges. Like, this is so perfect for this time of year. Loving that. I've got 4 more, and these are all special editions. So first up we have got the 10th anniversary edition of The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. This is the signed edition that I got from Waterstones, and she has officially confirmed that all of the books in this series are coming into this cover, so I can buy all of them in hardback, which is exactly what I wanted because I like the paperbacks but I prefer a hardback. It's like an iffy thing. I think they're all coming out next year. And then, because this is a 5-book series, this is a bigger series than that. There's 4 books out. Do not come for me if you're a Samantha Shannon stan. Like, I'm trying. There's like 4 books out already in this series. Yeah. 4 books: The Bone Season, The Mime Order, The Song Rising, The Mask Falling. And then there is The Pale Dreamer, Dawn Chorus, On the Merits of Unnaturalness, which those 3 are novellas, I believe. So I'm hoping they bring those out in hardback or bind up edition or something. And then I believe there's another 5 books. This is going to be like a 9-book series, which is huge. But they're all going to be in hardback, so I can't wait to buy them. I have read this actually. This, we're following our main character Paige, who is a dreamwalker. Is she a dreamwalker? Is she a sleepwalker? Am I telling you absolute rubbish? Not quite sure. This is set in the year 2059, which actually isn't that far away if you think about it. And she is a dreamwalker. I am right. A rare and formidable kind of clairvoyant. And when Paige is arrested for murder and thrown into captivity in Oxford, she meets the mysterious founders of the Scion, who have designs on her uncommon abilities. If she is to survive and escape, Paige must use every skill at her disposal and put her trust in someone who ought to be her enemy. So this is the rewritten edition, so I need to reread this so that I can see what has changed. Will I be able to pick it up? Possibly not, because I've read it once. I am not a stan as of yet, but we're getting there. And I have obviously the Priory and the prequel, A Day of Fallen Night. And I've read Priory twice and I loved it, so I like her writing. Anyways, babbling. Next up, we've got The Shadow Cabinet by Juno Dawson, which is the sequel to something else. Honestly, I'm awful. Her Majesty's Royal Coven. Flippin' heck. Look at these edges. They're so pretty. I do love re-showing off my special editions because they get shown in vlogs. So if you do like seeing these books, definitely make sure you come back, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Yes, I'm self-promoting, but it's my video, my channel, my thing, okay? And I show off all these books when I receive them in vlogs. That's mainly the main place that I do that. That does make sense. Anyways, this is the sequel to Her Majesty's Royal Coven, which is a book about 4 different witches that come together. Like, they grew up together and then they split off and then they have to come back together. Something like that. I haven't read it. Sure, you can tell. Wanted the special edition that matched. Is there anything new? Next up, we have got another copy of the Judas Blossom. So if you watched my last vlog, my last vlog, my last haul. I think I showed you my finished copy, which is the paperback edition, but this is the broken binding edition, which is just stunning. Look at these edges. It's just so pretty, like, and this actually matches my other edition of The Coward and the Warrior, which are just up here, you can't see them, but I also got those from the broken binding as well, and I got it signed and numbered, and I got number 265, which is very exciting. So there is that. The final normal book, traditionally published book I bought, and then I've got one fantasy book that I have actually bought that I want to show you, but none other than Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. Like, I have got a shelf of her books, and yes, they are very YA, but this is her trip into adult writing, so I had to check it out. This is the Waterstones special edition. It's not signed or stamped or anything, which is kind of sad. I know she usually uses a stamp, but I don't know if they did. Maybe I missed out on the signed edition. Who cares? There are also a lot of beautiful arcs for this book. I saw a hard copy arc which looked absolutely stunning. There are so many things, but yes, so this is her trip into adult writing. 2 outcasts have the power to change everything, but will they grasp the hand of destiny? I don't actually think I've seen any actual feedback about this as of yet. I've seen obviously a lot of pretty covers and book tours and stuff, but I haven't actually seen anyone talk about reviews yet, so I'm excited to dive into this and see how I feel about it, because that would be novel, really. Excuse the pun. And then the final book that I bought myself this month that isn't involved in any of my book boxes, obviously, is The Eyes by Ryan Carhill. It has been a very long time since I've talked about this man. I got this stunning art print with my book, which I am in love with, and I have got number 7 of 50. Look at it. Oh my gosh, I just love these books. It's very pretty, especially the fact that we got April Fooled this year with Ryan sending us the ARC copy and then it not being an ARC. It was a joke, which was very sad. But anyways, this is another novella in the Bound and the Broken series that he's got going on. He is currently reading, he's probably reading it, but I mean writing. He's currently writing Empires of Dust, which is the next full novel in this series. So this is our 3rd novella in this series so far. It's a little bit crazy. So I'm a little bit scared about how big the next book is going to be, because Of War and Ruin. Is it Of War and Ruin? That was, yeah, Of War and Ruin was the most recent one. Is huge. And I need to read that because I haven't read it yet. But I will, and I love this, and I'm very excited to dive back into this series. I feel like it might be something that I need to start rereading in November, because it's like, I don't know what it is, like, it's not actually like a cozy comfy book because there's a lot of sadness to it, but fantasy to me is just always cozy and like a welcome reprieve home, so maybe I'll do that. I don't know if that makes any sense, but anyways, babbling. Right, let's get into book boxes. So I feel like I've missed a Fairy Loot book somewhere, because I've got 4 Illuma crates, 4 locked libraries, but only 3 Fairy Loots. But if that is the case, that is the case. First up, these are in no particular order. They're not in month order, I've got no idea. I just about know what the October book was for locked library, only because it is, you know, there. First up, we've got Bonesmiths by Nikki Palpretto, which is the author of the Crowns of Feathers trilogy, and I remember when that was massive. That was massive when I just about found BookTube in like 2020. So this is giving me massive Gideon the Ninth vibes. I mean, look at these edges, they are insane. But this is a dark young adult fantasy about a disgraced ghost fighting warrior who must journey into a haunted wasteland to rescue a kidnapped prince. So it sounds good. Looking forward to getting to that one. Then we have this one, which is If I Have to Be Haunted by Miranda Sun. I'll haunt you for the rest of your life. You wouldn't dare try me. These edges are very pretty and very, very colourful. I also enjoy them. I do like that I've started to put these little doohickeys in the books because it really helps me know what I'm on about. This is a contemporary fantasy with portal magic to other realms, and it features a ghost speaker who reluctantly makes a deal to raise her nemesis, the high school's golden boy, from the dead. So obviously they're going to fall in love. Not really a romancy person, but we'll see how we get on with it. I'm sure it'll be a good time. And then the final one is Threads That Bind, which I got confused when I put it into my spreadsheet thinking that it was V. Schwab's book, but it's not. It's a completely different book. I don't have a card for this in the book, which is very irresponsible of me. I don't know. The Moira born always came in 3, like the Moray, the goddesses of fate themselves. I can't remember what this is about. It's got Greek gods in it though, and the main character is descended from the fates, and she can see the threads, which are what connects people. So that plays in there somewhere. Do not come to these videos for me explaining what books are about, because you'll be very sorely disappointed, as you've probably realised 20 minutes into this video. Then we've got Illumicrate, and I think this is the most recent one, which is After the Forest by Kel Woods. This is a retelling of, well, it's not really a retelling, it's like a afterward of Hansel and Gretel. This is saying that our main character Gretel has got the spell book from the witch's gingerbread house that her and her brother Hans were captured in, and she makes the most addictive gingerbread, and that is what brings in her income. But in a town where everyone is really suspicious, and obviously witchcraft is still bad and wrong, people are kind of wondering how she gets her gingerbread to be so delicious. So, and there's dark magic that's returning to the woods as well. So that sounds good and like a good time for this time of year. Then we've got the book that will be our next It's All About Fantasy read-along book, which is Studying Drowning by Ava Reid. This is about, I think our main character loves this author, and then the author dies. And there's the family announces a contest to redesign his house. Effie feels certain that is her destiny, but she meets someone else at the manor who is trying to prove that the author is a fraud. So I'm looking forward to reading that this month, or November. Sounds really good. Very excited about that. Like that a lot. Then we've got the Yed Air by Sarah Hashim, which is a political fantasy. For some reason I seem to know more about these ones. Which is a political fantasy, I believe. Get ready for an unmissable tale of shattered kingdoms, forbidden magic, and cunning royals in Sarah Hashim's Egyptian-inspired epic fantasy debut. At 10 years old, the heir of Yed fled a massacre that consumed her entire family. At 15, she buried her first body. At 20, her carefully crafted lies are starting to crumble. Sounds great, doesn't it? And then the final Illumicrate book is just Zara Guardians of Dawn by S.J. Jones. This book doesn't really give a lot away because the front is the same as the back, which is an interesting choice. Step into a stunning world of forbidden magic, romance and adventure from the author of New York Times best-selling Winter Song. So we've got another book where magic is forbidden, we will have some love somewhere, and also I got a lovely little note in my copy. I don't know if they did this in everything, but it says be good and true. Be good and be true. I think this is a real signature. Might not be. Anyways. So those are all the Illumicrate books. So we have one more stack of subscription box books to get through before we get to the gifted ones. So we are getting there, and this is why I don't talk through the meanings of all of the books, because this video is already quite long. So from the locked library so far for the past 4 months, we have received this, which is The Kingdom is a Golden Cage by Lily Inkwood. This is a fairy tale retelling. So this just says, once upon a time there was a princess locked in a tower, forced to bend to her father's will. But Celine is no ordinary princess. She has no intention of being a damsel in distress. is she does have a lover. They have a rescue planned. There's magic in it. It sounds like a good time. I don't know when I'm going to get to this, but I'm looking forward to it. I have found, actually, that my locked library books are the ones that I seem to be reading the most, which is odd because I didn't realise that that would be the case. Next up, we have Every Exquisite Thing by Laura Stephen. I have read this and I loved this book. This is a interpretation of The Picture of Dorian Gray. It's inspired by that. And our main character, whose name always escapes me, I'm terrible with them, Penny, that's it, is the daughter of an amazing actress called Peggy. And Penny is now attending the same academy that her mother did to basically kickstart her acting career. And her mentor comes to her and says, there is a way to stop you being so obsessed with yourself and everything you've got going on. Come and get your come and get your portrait painted and it'll take all those worries away. And it just starts on like this whole whirlwind thing. There's a big feature in this book, so do read the trigger warnings definitely for this book, because I know, because I've already read it. But there's a big talking point about eating disorders and death of a parent, suicidal thoughts, addiction. There's so much in that, and because we are reading from Peggy's point of view, I will say I wanted to shake her quite a few times, because this is a mystery. Someone is slashing the portraits, people are dying, and Penny has to figure out who it is when weird scars start appearing on her body. But I will say I wanted to shake her because she got in her head one person who has done it, and she didn't think of anyone else, didn't stop to think that there could be anyone else. It was just this one person. And it's a little bit bonkers in that sense, but otherwise I really enjoyed it. I thought the theme in here was really poignant. I loved the deep dive into how we ourselves have things passed down from our parents, especially as us girls. I can't talk about boys because I'm not one. I don't have that thought process, but a lot of this from thought processes of what traits have been passed down from mother to daughter really stood out to me. I completely got a lot of them, which was quite cool. It is hard hitting. I really recommend this book. This is like the first book that I've babbled about in this book haul, but I loved it, and I think I now need to read is it The Deathless Girl Society that she's also written, and see if I love it just as much, because it could just be that the author is just amazing to me. And next up we have got And Break the Pretty Things by Lena Zhang. I hope I'm saying that right. Never Forget the Dragons in Your Blood. Beautiful and nightmarish, this fantasy debut, inspired by the historical Three Kingdoms of Korea, follows a crown princess's journey to understand her dark powers and save the realm. It's got dragons in it. I'm definitely intrigued, and these books are just so pretty, honestly, so pretty. And then the final locked library book that I have received so far this year is this one, which I definitely know is the October book because it came in a very cool orange box. And this is The Book of Witches, which is edited by Jonathan Strahan, yeah. And it's an anthology with all of these authors in. I'm just going to show you all the names before I read them all out, because I'm not going to read them all out. So yeah, there's a lot of really cool authors there, some of which that I'm excited to read is Ken Liu, C.L. Clarke, Garth Nix, Andrea Stewart, Fonda Lee. There's quite a few big names in here, and obviously they've all written either a story or a poem or something about witches, and it's been bound up into this beautiful book, so I'm very excited to get to this. And I haven't actually read a good anthology in ages. I've got a couple of them on my shelves that I have bought but haven't got to yet, so we'll see how that goes. Next up, we're going to indie books that I've very kindly been sent by authors. So first up is none other than Sea of Souls by N.C. Scrimmager. So this is following our main character Isla, who when she hears some terrible news is called home, and there's something about Selkie raiders, and I think Isla is set off to go and kill them, essentially. So it says, as enemies close in on all sides, she must decide once and for all where her loyalties lie, if she wants to save what's left of her family and find the belonging she's been searching for. This I've already started and it's actually really good. I'm enjoying it and the writing style is beautiful, so I'm definitely excited to carry on with that one. Next up we've got Bastards of Liberty by Matthew Zorich. I'm pretty sure this entered into Spiffbo 9, so I am excited to have this on my shelf. The author very kindly reached out and asked if I wanted to review a copy, which I do, and I will be getting to this as soon as I can. I have got so many amazing indie books on my shelves at the minute that I just need to get to. I just haven't, and I do feel like I'm letting everyone down, so I'm ever so sorry for that. A lot has been going on in the past few months, and that's just how it is. My reading has taken a bit of a hit. Next I've got this, which is none other than The Crown of Omens by E.J. Dobble, which is a Blood and Steel saga story. This is his newest novella in the series. He even signed it for me, which is so lovely. If you didn't know, we hosted a readathon of his first 2 books, starting with The Fangs of War, August and September. If you want to check out his interview, I'll link it up here for you. He's a lovely guy, absolutely love talking to him. And he offered to send me a copy of his newest novella as like a thank you, which he did not need to do. I'm very excited to get to this, and as always his covers are just immaculate, so I'm excited to get to that one. I will be reading that shortly, hopefully, because I've got an idea of trying to read a lot of short books that are currently on my TBR, because I am nowhere near my Goodreads goal at the minute. Next up we've got Ruins of Smoke, which I was very kindly sent by the author. This is also in my batch to read for Sphinx, which is a short story competition for indie fantasy. Or is it indie fantasy or is it anything? I think it is anything. So I'm really looking forward to getting to this. This is a prequel novella to his Seeds of War book, which again was entered into Spiffbo 9. As of this moment, I don't know the outcome of where that landed, but I'm very excited to get to this one too. And then I had a very lovely author called Brian Asher reach out to me and ask if I want to review his book, which is this, The Fear of Moncroy. And he also sent me another book, which was The Treasure of Lev, which I am so grateful for. Thank you so much. This one, I believe, has got vampires in, which would be great to read now. It says something about a royal vampiric court. And then this one, I think they're all set in like a similar place. But I don't think they link. So The Treasure of Lev is another exciting adventure from Brian Asher set in the world of floating nations known as the Intercontinents, and this says the same thing on the bottom of this one. So same world, but I don't know if these characters will ever join up, meet up, be in the same place. Again, 2 short books that would be great to boost up anyone's TBR. So if you want to check these out, definitely do. We love all authors, but we love to support indie authors on this channel. So those are all the books that I was very kindly sent by indie authors. Next we'll do publishing houses, and this first one, actually all of them I'm very excited about, but this one is the shiniest arc I've ever received, and that is none other than Invocation by S.T. Gibson, which is coming out May next year. This is from the author of A Diary of Blood. I requested this before I read Dowry, and then I read Dowry and I really enjoyed it, so I think I will get on with this quite well. This says, when a family curse threatens the life of David, a medium, he will turn to the only person he's ever trusted, his sorcerer ex-boyfriend Reese, which means he will have to open his heart to Moira, Reese's astrologer wife. Meet David, Reese and Moira for the first time as they navigate magic-riddled Boston through hierarchical magic societies, or secret societies, familial bonds from beyond the grave, and much more in this gorgeous, richly imagined novel. I was hoping to get to this in the month of October. It didn't come up in my rolls for Spookopoly, and I am now in the process of starting a new book tour, which I will talk to you about in a second, because the book is sat in this pile, so this might need to wait until either November, December or early next year, but I'm excited to get to this. I'm very excited. Oh, also I got this from Angry Robot. Thank you very much, Caroline, if you're watching my videos. I greatly appreciate it. She also sent me this, which is Vert by Jeff Noon, which is the new 30th anniversary edition, which you can actually now buy. This came out, I think, October 10th, so you can buy this from any bookstore. I'm almost finished with this. This is bonkers. This is set in a different version of Manchester where drugs are actually known as feathers, and feathers come in different colours, so different colours mean different things. You've got blue, which are quite tame, usually quite nice little dream-esque things. You've got yellows, which are quite dangerous. Yellows and blacks are like banned because they're like really high up and they're like really strong drugs. I would say it's more like a class A drug if you want to link it that way. And then you've got pink, which is a pornovert, which is like porn, and you basically, when you have a feather, you stick it in the back of your throat and you get taken to the Vert, which is virtual reality, and you live out whatever the feathers do. And we are following our main character Scribble, who has got this group of friends called the Stash Riders, and they obviously do these feathers, but he is looking for his sister who is lost in the Vert, and it's a little bit all over the place, I have to be honest, but it's a really enjoyable time. The world's really immersive, I'm really enjoying that. The only thing I will say is there is incest in here, and that bit kind of threw me a little bit because I wasn't aware that it was coming, but it's in there, so just bear that in mind when you read this book. Again, thank you very much, Caroline from Angry Robot Books, for sending me a copy of this. I am enjoying it. And I've got another one coming, I think it's called Gogmog, something like that, is another Jeff book with another author that is coming out. I don't know when off the top of my head, but I've got a copy of that coming as well from Angry Robot, which I'm very excited about. But this book is the book that I'm doing my next book tour for, and that is none other than The Darkness Before Them. Thank you very much, Orbit, for sending me a copy of this. Thank you very much, Matthew Ward, for letting me take part in your book tour. I'm very excited. We will be doing some fun content. There's loads of different creators that are taking part. There's going to be blog posts, interviews, might be a video interview. So I will be getting started on this once I finish this, because my content for this will be on the 1st of November, so keep an eye out for that. This is Matthew Ward's newest book. It is releasing, I want to say the 10th of November off the top of my head, but I don't have the paperwork to hand, so I'm not sure. But this is set in a world of ancient myth and dangerous magic. The Darkness Before Them begins a heart-pounding adventure in which a thief dares to seek vengeance and finds herself on the path to war. So I'm very excited to get to this. It sounds awesome. And that will be my next read, which is why Spookopoly is now taking a break. Once Vert is done, that is my last Spookopoly read. That'll be it. But we're almost finished with October anyways. It's currently the 27th as I'm filming this, so we don't have that many days left. Right, the final pile is books that I have been gifted by my lovely friends, and the first two are from none other than the lovely Luke Winch over at Luke's Book Nook. Definitely check him out. But first is Credible Threats by Daniel Mayer. This is definitely a Spiffbo 9 book. I think it has just been knocked out of the competition because this was part of Luke's batch. This is Sam Adams' 16-year-old wizard has zero interest in saving the world, but staying out of the line of fire isn't an option for wizards. And then this one is another one that Luke has been raving about, which is Gates of Hope by J.E. Hannaford, who also wrote The Skin. I don't know what the sequel's called, but the first book was definitely called The Skin. And this is The Watcher Shattered the Gates, now hope must arise from the shards. Luke has loved both of these. He sent me copies of them because he loved them so much and he wanted me to experience them. And so thank you so much, Luke. One of them is a birthday present. One of them, he said, was because it's for all the help I've given him for his YouTube channel, which he does not need to say because I'll help you any day, Luke, honestly. But thank you so much for these editions. These are both also indie authors, so I'm very excited to try these and just to crack on with them, because the new cover for Daniel's new book has just released and that also looks pretty cool. So excited about that. Then we have gifts from Lisa, and if you don't know who Lisa is by now, I've got no idea what you're doing. We host It's All About Fantasy together. The Twitter is always down below if you want to check us out. We have, like I said, just finished one series and we will be now reading Studying Drowning. So if you want to come join us, come see the live show in November, be sure to do that because it's going to be a fun time. But she sent me these two books for my birthday, which is The Pumpkin Queen by Shay Long Live the Pumpkin Queen by Shay Earnshaw, and Daughter of the Beast by E.C. Greaves. This one is a Spiffbo 9 finalist now, so I'm very glad to have a physical copy of it so I can read it, because I read better physically, as we all know. And then this one I'm hoping to try and crack into on Halloween when it's just me home alone with the doorbell going with all the trick-or-treaters, because I live in a place full of children, and maybe some spooky ASMR rooms. And then the final book of this haul is from none other than D.W. Ross. He very kindly sent me The Crown Tower by Michael J. Sullivan. I don't really know a lot about this, but I do have them on my wish list because they are pretty classic, I will say. Two men who hate each other, one impossible mission, a legend in the making. So I'm very grateful for this, Ross. Thank you so much for sending me a copy. And yeah, that is literally the end of this haul. That is all of the books that I have acquired since my last haul, which I believe was at the start of August. We're now pretty much at the end of October. So one more haul this year. I was trying to do them every 4 months, but that just hasn't worked out. One more haul at the end of this year, I believe in December, maybe, depending on what my book haul situation is like. But yeah, that is it for this video. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up, really supports me and my channel. Leave me a comment down below of the last book you hauled. And if you just want to leave me an emoji, leave me any October, like fall, autumnal emojis, autumnal leaves, pumpkins, ghosts, that sort of thing. Leave them down below in the comments. If you do want to see more of me, please consider subscribing down below and ringing that notification bell to get notified every single time I upload new videos. I have been really inconsistent for the past couple of months. I didn't post it all in September. I've just done vlogs in October. I'm hoping that November is the month that I am coming back, so please stick around if you want to see more content. I am also playing around with my upload schedule to see when it works best for me. Not too sure how that's gonna go, but we will see. But yeah, please stick around if you like what you see, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I do enjoy really filming these videos. I just haven't had the chance to kind of like sit down and film for you guys, which is a bit of a shame, but I have enjoyed vlogging. So this is my gateway back into the booktube community. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, let me know, talk to me in the comments. All my social medias are linked down below, so come check me out on Twitter, whatever it is called now, X, Instagram. I am most active probably on Twitter, but I'm trying to switch that up. So yeah, I'm back, hopefully. I think, maybe. I've got content planned, so we'll see what happens. But otherwise, that's everything for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're having an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye.